welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're doing something a bit different. We're taking a journey, really, into the world of stand-up comedy. Specifically, we're looking at those raw, unfiltered moments between a comedian and the audience. And our focus today is Max Cimini. Our mission for this deep dive is basically to unpack how he uses that direct audience interaction, how he spins it into spontaneous humor, finds these sort of universal truths, and builds connections, all from just one show. We're pulling all this from a transcript excerpt from his YouTube video, Laugh with Dad, Max Cimini stand-up comedy.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I think, is how just a simple chat with someone in the crowd can suddenly blossom. It becomes this whole tapestry of, personal stories, cultural bits, family stuff we can all relate to. We're going to look not just at what he's saying, but sort of why it hits home, even when he's pushing the envelope a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so let's unpack that. The core here is the comedian, Cimini, talking directly to people. He just pulls out these amazing, sometimes really surprising bits of info just by asking, pretty simple questions like, we hear about this 18-year-old kid
Right.
wants to be an engineer because his dad forced him. But then he admits he's not good at math or even algebra.
Yeah.
And Cimini jumps right in, says maybe he should become a comedian.
And that right there, it sets a tone immediately. It's so relatable. I mean, who hasn't felt some kind of parental pressure, especially about careers, right? It shows how fast a comedian can find that common ground just by touching on these shared experiences.
And then there's the bit with the 11-year-old who's half Filipino, half Persian. Cimini calls it a very balanced mix. And then he goes for these visual jokes saying the dad looks like a penguin because he has no hair.
Right.
And the mom, she just shaved her mustache. It's so specific you can just picture it.
Exactly. And that really shows the power of mixing observational humor with that direct interaction. It's about finding something universal, but in the very specific details of these people and making light of personal stuff in a way that feels, playful, not mean.
Okay, this is where it gets, for me, really interesting. Cimini digging deep into family dynamics. We hear about Helen, her mom, Iranian, but she's not there. And her father, she calls him daddy, not dad. Cimini points that out, very different than dad. And there's another woman, he jokes, she looks older than the wife.
Bold move.
Yeah, saying, how good of a life daddy created for you that you haven't fucking aged. I mean, that's a pretty direct jab at appearances, the whole idea of a good life.
And that brings up a really key question, doesn't it? How do comedians get away with pushing boundaries on sensitive things like family or age? Often it's by finding the absurdity in it all, or maybe the hidden truth in these everyday interactions we all recognize.
And the running gag about the dad, the one who's still not laughing.
Oh, yeah, the dad.
Even though he's at a comedy show, Cimini just keeps coming back to him. Dad, you're going to laugh tonight.
It's such a clever move. It keeps this thread going through the whole show. He basically turns one audience member into this recurring character. And it speaks to that universal thing, trying to entertain someone who's just, a tough crowd.
There's also that interaction with the woman, the one with 7 kids.
Right, 7 kids.
Where her husband just blurts out, I don't do shit.
Her.
And he doesn't even know who's babysitting right now. Cimini jokes, white people don't give a shit. And then, did you just literally pause? I don't know who's taking care of my baby.
That really highlights the kind of candor you can get in a comedy setting. It's surprising. People are often incredibly open about the messy realities of their lives, and the comedian just sort of amplifies it for comedic effect, touching on big themes like parental responsibility, modern family life, but through this very specific, funny moment.
And he even starts playing matchmaker. That was unexpected.
Yeah, that bit.
He asks, how many single people in the house? Tries to set up Dennis from Jersey.
The military guy.
Right. Air Force, 21 years old, with Oksana, who's finance, and 34.
And he throws in that joke about finance being AKA gold digger.
Yeah, and says Oksana's too old for him. Pretty direct stuff.
But then the twist.
Right. Oksana asks, what about the dad? Referring to Dennis's dad, who's married but looks cool.
And that's where the humor gets really sharp and subversive. It totally plays with our expectations, pushes the limits on social norms, about relationships, age gaps, all that.
And the audience reaction he describes later, that's amazing too, tells that story about Ali from Iraq, whose wife was clapping at the idea of someone else taking her husband.
Yeah, the Habibi story.
Saying, yes, it's a very good idea. I cannot tolerate him all the time. Let someone else have him for a little bit. Go please to the other one. I need to breathe. It just shows how these jokes, even if they start specific, can just connect across cultures. Hitting on those relatable marital frustrations.
Absolutely. That connection to the bigger picture, that's so important. It really shows how comedians, just through these seemingly simple interactions, can tap straight into universal feelings. Love, marriage, attraction. It lets everyone in the audience see a bit of themselves reflected back, you know?
This deep dive also shows this just incredible range of cultural backgrounds in the room. It wasn't just the Filipino-Persian mix. We meet Flavio.
The Italian-Argentinian Mormon.
Exactly, who came with two of your wives,
Mhm.
which leads to jokes about Mormons in Argentina and Mormon-style circumcision.
Amini seems comfortable just weaving all that in.
Yeah, mentions of Russian and Ukrainian beauty, his
Uh-huh.
own Iranian background. It feels like a global audience right there.
And it highlights how a comedian can use cultural references, sometimes even stereotypes, yeah, but does it with this playful tone. The aim seems to be inclusion, not exclusion. It's like a brief celebration of all these different identities, all sharing the same laugh.
And the deep dive, it kind of ends in this really poignant moment, but still funny, with a woman named Ritika from India,
Mm-hmm.
who mentions she lost my father last year, but believes they're always with you.
Yeah, that was quite a shift.
And Amini connects with that, says he lost his father in 2015. But then he just flips it into this hilarious bit, imagining his father's soul being annoyed that he wasted money on a seat for him.
Right. The whole monologue.
Yeah, like his dad saying, Maxim, why are you wasting money? I'm in heaven, having a great time. What did I teach you? You go up to be an idiot, you buy seats for me, stupid. I am in heaven having a good time. I don't even want to hang out with you. Finally, I died to be away from you guys. Now you're forcing me from heaven to come watch this bullshit.
It's incredible, and it really makes you think, right? How does humor actually help us deal with really big things, like loss, like legacy? By taking something so deeply personal, so potentially painful, and finding the absurdity in it, the relatable irony, maybe, the father worrying about wasted money from heaven. It offers this unique kind of catharsis, a shared connection, showing that even when you're grieving, you can still find something to laugh about. It's quite profound, actually.
So when you boil it all down, what does this mean for you listening? This deep dive into just one comedy transcript, it shows this incredible richness in human interaction.
Yeah.
And the power a really skilled comedian has to pull out these universal themes just from talking to people, off the cuff. You know, family stuff, dating, even how we process loss. It's all there, packaged with wit and just pure spontaneity.
Exactly. It's like comedy holds up a mirror, doesn't it? Reflecting our lives, our quirks, our anxieties right back at us, often making us laugh at ourselves in the process. It reminds us that, even with all our different backgrounds and experiences, there's always this shared human thing that connects us all.
Maybe the next time you're out, in a public place, just people watching. Or even just noticing the interactions around you. You might start seeing the little bits of comedy woven into everyday life. What observations could you make about that family at the next table or the couple arguing quietly in the coffee shop? What's the stand-up routine just waiting to be written there? Something to think about.